Hey there Gemini, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for April 10th to the 16th. Let's jump straight on in and see what may be on the cards for you. Working with this beautiful Moonchild tarot deck. Oh, first one out is the Devil. Okay, Capricorn energy here. You may be dealing with a Capricorn. This can indicate that there might be a block or an obstacle for you at the moment in your situation. So this can be within yourself where you're feeling powerless to take the actions that you want that will lead to freedom or liberation. Sometimes it's around our environment, and it could be a person that's not serving us or a situation here. The Devil really, it involves a shining of light into the darkness, looking at what we are choosing here and why we might be choosing to stay in a situation that isn't serving us. And it's usually because there is some kind of payoff for the cost. Now that could look like work, career, you know, you're earning good money but you're burnt out and it's a toxic environment. In your relationship, that could look like, well, you've got stability, security and a stable home here, but you might be dealing with somebody who's, you know, got narcissistic traits, or, you know, that the growth isn't there anymore. So let's keep going here, Gemini. Well, it's come straight out. I've got the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got some more information here, Gemini, because the Five of Pentacles can be either real or perceived loss or lack. Okay, now this could be around money, and the Devil sometimes is a debt situation, or it could be that you're in a situation, relationship or something like that, and you're feeling alone in that situation. Now, you know, the reason why you're staying there is because one of those dependencies that we talked about, maybe because there's stability here, maybe because you're not really feeling that you can make that move and free yourself. We'll have to keep going and get more information. Do keep in mind it is a general reading here, Gemini, which means it may play out differently in your life than it does for somebody else. The fives for me, like that Five of Pentacles, always indicate a very important point of change or critical turning point. I've got the Three of Cups here. Yeah, so the Three of Cups can, look, it can mean that there are other people or parties involved in this situation, but it's also a positive turn. You know, it talks about celebrating here and that there will be new growth. We're going to go to your 9-card block and see what the advice is to get to this outcome. This feels like a happy outcome for what you're actually experiencing here. So let's get the rest of your story out, Gemini. If you'd like a personal reading or healing, you can jump down to the first link down below to head over to my website and check them out. Grab my free Illuminate Learn Tarot Quick Guide if you'd like to get started interpreting the cards, and to dive in deeper with learning tarot and learn a full foundation plus my signature process. The doors to the initiation are open, and join me on Instagram. I'm doing loads of readings on there, daily readings, and I'm doing card pulls for followers as well, so you have to be there when I put the shout out, and I'm planning on doing that hopefully this week. Let's get these cards out. I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, Gemini, these are your cards. Wow, look at this. So the Devil is shown back up again next to the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it feels like Spirit is supporting you to move on, to transition past this situation that's going to take you stepping into that Strength card energy, the strength, the courage, and really powering up. Let's start, you know, at the beginning here. I've got the Six of Pentacles, and Gemini, for me, this is a real, you know, the hand that feeds you energy. And so the saying goes, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Now, the hand that feeds you could be your employer. They give you the money so that you can make ends meet, you know, each week. This could be, you know, your partner, who might be the financial provider here, something like that. There's something that involved in this situation, Gemini, where it's providing for you in some way, and your feeling is, what will I do without that? I will be powerless without that situation, you know, without what I'm getting from that. So we know how we talked about the cost and the payoff with the Devil. Well, that is the payoff for the cost of staying in a situation that you aren't happy, okay? But Spirit is saying the tables can turn, and maybe it is a real time to reevaluate. So we've come from the Six of Pentacles. And then we have the 7, and I've got the Devil here as well. So the 7 of Pentacles asks you to reassess, and it's going to take awareness. It's going to take shining a light on the situation to do so. That's where the King of Swords comes in. It's about taking a real step back so that you can objectively see the big picture here and what is playing out. And what I want to draw your attention to, Gemini, is hindsight and foresight, because generally what you've been receiving, the energy or, you know, the emotional availability or whatever it is for you in this situation will repeat, right? You'll get more of that same energy unless there is true transformation here on both parties' parts. So really, you can really look at the situation, how it's been, to know how it's going to continue playing out. Now, if you're okay with that, then, you know, you can, by all means, you have free will and you can stay in the situation. But you're here. You're in the 5 of Pentacles. You're feeling a sense of lack, even though you're in the situation with getting a certain amount of your needs met, because the right needs aren't being met. The emotional needs, okay, is emotional unavailability, or you're not happy, or maybe your energy is declining in some way. The Devil is always shown with these bat wings here, Gemini, because the story is that it's not sustainable to stay in a situation long term where there is that drain on our happiness and energy, and then it starts manifesting in ways. It can manifest in lowered immunity, it can manifest, you know, in mental health, it can manifest in many different ways, blocking us from reaching our potential. So the 7 of Pentacles says it's time for you to reassess and reevaluate. What are you really getting from the situation, and do you want more of that? And if not, it's time for decisions, and it's time for boundaries, and it's time to look at this with truth and clarity. That's everything that the King of Swords is about. And then it comes down to a choice, right? A choice. And, you know, really declaring that choice, owning it and moving forward. You know, with situations, it is hard, and generally it won't just change magically, you know, unless we take that action, right? And that's the hard bit, and that's why often people stay long-term in situations that they're really not happy with. So there can be a strategic move for you. I can see that you're weighing it up, and I can see that emotions are running very high here. But I really feel that you're being asked to have that strength and courage to think about closure here, to think about a final ending. Because I just see that beautiful sun energy on the horizon, which for me, on the other side of this situation, that's when the Wheel of Fortune turns. That's when this Ace of Cups is going to come in. There's a whole infinite potential available to you, Gemini. But you have to move towards that energetic potential, otherwise it just remains latent energy, okay? Unrealized potential. Your higher self, represented by the angel there, is trying to get your attention. You're probably getting strong gut feelings, intuitions. You're probably seeing signs and synchronicities that point to a 10 of Swords ending, but there's an element of going back into the illusion of the Devil and going, well, you know, no, I'll stay here for a bit longer. Look at this energy. Whoops. So the Wheel of Fortune talks about change. And it's not any old change. It's change that expands your life, right? Change that broadens your horizon, changes your fortune, okay? That is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, it's also about karmic completion. So the reason why it's been so hard to leave this situation is there might have been some kind of, you know, karmic contract here. And generally, we're very drawn to our karmic situations or people. And we're drawn to them for a reason, to work through what we needed to learn the lesson and then close that cycle. But if we're feeling really drawn to a situation, but it's obviously toxic for us, that can be when we are not releasing a karmic situation. So this could be your indicator. But the Wheel of Fortune wants to turn for you, and I feel shift you towards an emotional new beginning, great new potential here, that you will be so much happier and that you will actually celebrate this ending maybe once the dust has settled. So the Knight of Wands is moving on to a new frontier, to new territory, towards the Wands energy and the Cups energy. Potential, feeling lit up again, recovering your energy, maybe getting your emotional needs met more than ever. That really feels like deep soul connection and happiness, and a cup runneth over, and being able to finally, you know, transform at an inner level and, you know, emotionally as well. And for some of you here, Gemini, I must say that maybe the Ace of Cups has shown up for you. It could be a new romantic connection. It could be the offer of work that will really fulfill you. And that if it has, this is your sign that that's the catalyst to try and move you out of that situation. Sometimes the universe will send us these opportunities to really test us and see if we're ready. See if we're ready to make that move. See if we're ready for this energy. Whether you like it or not, Gemini, the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and I ask you, are you going to move with it? All right, let's close this out with an oracle card from the Divine Abundance Oracle deck. See what we have. Divine Flow. What moves with the Divine Flow? The Wheel of Fortune. It's trying to carry you in a new direction. So this one says, eventually one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the divine flow at all costs. We talked about cost and payoff, and it's saying maybe it's time to really, you know, release that cost and payoff and move towards the divine flow. There you go, Gemini. That's what I have for you, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. I am, of course, always cheering you on and wishing you so much love and magic. Bye for now.